barely have any time. Let's smash this out, Samantha. No procrastinating. No more procrastinating. Do it. Hello, difference makers. Now, as you can see, I am in another location. Yes, another room, the third one since moving to Sydney. It's complicated, and I'm not going to talk about that. Today, as you can see by the title, is a August favorites video, and I am so excited. So let's not waste any more time because I don't have a lot of time to film this. Let's do it. Cut. My book recommendation for you guys is a book that I've actually read twice already before, and it has been out for quite a number of years now, but it is Between Shades of Grey. Not to be mistaken with the 50 Shades of Grey. Between Shades of Grey is written by Ruta Sepetys? Let me look that up. Sepetys? Oh god, I am terrible with names. I am so sorry. I feel like this happens every single time I have gone to like mention an author's name. Oh, I am such a bad person. I'll just spell it on the screen here. Yeah, see? There you go. Problem solved. Problem solved. Between Shades of Grey is set in World War II and begins in 1941, following the life of 15-year-old Lena and her family as the Soviets invade Lithuania and the family gets deported. Lena and her family ends up fighting for their lives as their country is destroyed and separated, split up, as their family is split up and they are forced into labor camps, into the freezing cold of Siberia. Through more trials and tribulations than I ever thought anyone did face. I mean, there are so many different stories about how Jewish people were persecuted at this time, but not so much about other people in the other Eastern countries. And I think that's why I love this book so much, because it tells you more about the Cold War and what was seriously going on. And it tells you in a personal manner, because this story may be fictional, but it is inspired by true stories. A number of true stories, all slotted together to follow the life of an imaginary character. Knowing that, I think, has impacted me quite a bit, knowing that there are elements of this story that are true, elements of the story that are people's true testimonies of the time. And I think it's a perfect book if you are into history or you really just want to be able to learn a little bit more. If you're worried about reading a book with a 15-year-old protagonist, don't fear. She does grow up over the years, and there's something so honest about the writing style that you are easily able to connect, or at least I was, and I feel like many other adults can too. You instantly just get sucked into the world and end up crying your eyes out at the devastating way that people were treated. On to something a little more happy, huh? My film, which actually isn't that happy of a film, it's actually quite a bleak comedy. Birdman. Now yes, this has been out for a while, but I just didn't know if I wanted to watch it. I did. I've heard so much about it, and it has been recommended to me by so many people for so many different reasons, whether it be for the acting or the cinematography and all of the technical details that went into this production. But I just didn't know if I wanted to watch it because it deals with quite a few issues that are confronting. It follows the life of a washed-up Hollywood actor who is known for playing a superhero called Birdman, who he is actually tormented by in his own mind as he remembers his younger self playing Birdman, and it's this really cool concept of being able to see Birdman like come out of these posters and talk to him, but it's really all just kind of happening in his head as he remembers what it was like to be a well-known, respected actor. He has adapted a play from about the 1960s and he's trying to put it on Broadway. And what we see in the film is the days leading up to opening night as he is trying to get it approved, trying to get sponsorship, trying to make it all happen. And oh my goodness, the cast list is insane. I mean, Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, Emma Stone, Naomi Watts and Zach Galifianakis in a role that I would never have expected him to play. I mean, he's done a few more serious things over the past few years, but in my head I guess I still just kind of see him as a comedian, and he doesn't have like the biggest role in this film, but what you see of him is truthful and believable, and oh goodness, from every single actor in this thing, mine has just definitely on my top 10 list of films now. My favourite artist for August is Of Monsters and Men. And I'm not saying that I've just discovered them, I have heard their things many times before and am oh my god, a massive fan. I am speechless. I'm speechless because of their new album, Beneath the Skin. Ooh, if you have never heard their things before, just shh and listen. See, like, it's like empowering and calmful at the same time. It's whimsical and yet strong. It is album almost perfection. And my favourite memory of August would by far have to be when this happened.
This lanthorn doth the horned moon present. Myself, the man I the moon, do seem to be.
This is the greatest error of all the rest. The man should be put in the lanthorn. How is it else the man in the moon?
He dares not come there for the candle, for you see it is already in the snuff.
I am weary of this moon, would he would change.
Proceed, moon.
All I have to say is to tell you that this lanthorn is the moon, I the man in the moon. This bush, my thorn bush, and this dog, my dog.
Why, all these things should be in the lanthorn, for all these things are in the moon. But silence, here comes Thisbe.
This is old Nini's tomb. Where is my love?
If you're a little lost, that is A Midsummer Night's Dream, the play that my acting faculty put on this year at college. I played Robin Starveling, which is one of the mechanics, the players within the play, the ones that put on the play for the Duke and Duchess and lovers at the end of William Shakespeare's play. We had 1 day a week for a term and a half, plus 2 in the holidays. So not long at all to put on Shakespeare, to put on one of the most well-known Shakespearean plays. But we did it, and it was great. We did 3 shows in 2 days. We had a matinee on the Wednesday as well at a local school, and that footage is from that local school, and if you want to watch that, and go ahead, seriously, it is funny and enjoyable. Just follow the first link in the description box below, because my friends were amazing and I am so proud to have been a part of an ensemble like that. A part of a team that really raised each other up and was such an inspiration, because for the first time ever I didn't feel like there was anyone proving anything. We were just having fun and performing. For the first time, I was being me. I've always felt that way on stage, that I'm more myself on stage in front of 500 people in a costume than I am in front of one person as myself. It's just the way that I am. But there was something very, very different about this performance and being a part of this team. And I think it was that just everyone understood that there is power in the truth. There is power in being absolutely 100% yourself. And you have nothing to prove to anyone, not in your fellow cast or in your audience. If you're a performer, realize that you have nothing to prove. So please, 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 please support all of my friends, my faculty, and go and follow the first link in the description box below, because it was so much fun. I mean, there are hilarious mistakes made in that. They're not going to be noticeable to you guys, but us who made the mistakes, we are aware. And there is a little slip up on a scooter, which is hilarious. My friend Abby Norsa, love you to death, but that was one of the most funniest things I've ever watched. I don't know how many times I have like rewound and fast forward to that point in the film when it happens, because just even remembering it now. And last but not least, my life lesson for the month of August. It is related to both performing in A Midsummer Night's Dream and my film recommendation for this month. There's a line in the film Birdman that says, "You confuse love for admiration." My life lesson for this month is, recognition is not love. There's a big difference, you see, in someone recognizing your achievements, and someone admiring what you've done, and someone actually loving you. Someone seeing you and all that you do, someone knowing you, all that you are, and someone accepting unconditionally everything that comes with you being you and loves you. There's a difference that I feel like a lot of performers and a lot of people just in general these days, with social media being such a platform, that forget that mistake recognition for love, that confuse admiration for love. For a long time, what I unfortunately liked so much about performing in the theatre is having an audience applaud me at the end of my performance. There was a connection that I had made with people that I didn't even know. They didn't know me. They didn't know all the mistakes that I made. They didn't know how bad of a person I may be, to me feeling like I'm being more myself than ever before. And there was something alluring about me that they loved, and they applauded. They applauded because I had achieved some kind of greatness, and I thrived on it. And for a long time I felt like I was a hopeless person unless I had an audience applauding me. And I'm glad to be able to say that I'm not like that anymore. Now like I said, I performed A Midsummer Night's Dream with my acting faculty, and there was not one moment spent thinking, do they love me? For the first time I was enjoying myself, and when the applause came, I took hands with my fellow actors, I raised them and I bowed in an ensemble. We were equals. We had enjoyed ourselves, our audience had enjoyed themselves and luckily understood the play, because it is very wordy to do Shakespeare. And that applause was simply an applause. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have much time until I need to leave this house, so I'm gonna go and get ready. And my legs are dead because I have been kneeling on them for a good half hour now trying to film this. So I am going to love you and leave you, my difference makers. And please, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below as to what some of your favourite books, films and artists are, and some of the life lessons that you may have learnt in the month of August. And last but not least, please remember, it is not your excellence that makes you different, but your differences that make you excellent. And if you agree with me, join me by hitting that subscribe button and become a difference maker. Bye!